dear real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. He's the man with the plan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
Good. Hey, we've got a guest in the house here with us today, Stephen Halen of Van Halen. No, I'm just kidding. Just messing with you there. But it does sound the same, so that's cool. He's a broker and owner of R&S Premier Homes. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so Greg Douthit got you in here, right?
He did, yes.
He's pretty persistent.
Yeah, he had to twist my arm a few times.
Well, good. We're glad that you're here. Let's first start off with you sharing how long you've been in real estate and what got you into the business.
I've been doing real estate about 12 years. Started off with a large, big national brokerage. Got tired of paying them 30% on my commissions and went to another brokerage, a flat fee type brokerage, and did that for many, many years, but still paying them way too much money. So finally, about 2 years ago, said enough of this and did my own thing.
Did your own thing, huh?
Yep.
Started up R&S Premier.
We did.
That's awesome. So what's the makeup of the brokerage now?
We have 9 agents total. One's our TCs. We have 8 active agents. We do have a full-time commercial agent, and we do property management as well.
Got it.
We're,
all right.
Yeah, based out of Queen Creek, but we service the whole entire valley.
Got it. All right. And I think you told us earlier before we started the recording here what got you into the business, right?
Yeah, I did. I left the fire department when I was in the fire service up north, and after 25 years of that, come down here and stayed home for a few months. My wife looked at me one day and said, "Honey, I love you, but get out of the house."
She'd had enough.
Yeah, so there I am. So that got me, and I wanted something where I could still take time off and visit the grandkids and travel just a bit. So here we go. That's what got me doing real estate.
No, that's great. So tell us a little bit about what makes R&S Premier Homes a little bit different than some of the other brokerages.
Well, being a small boutique brokerage, it allows us a lot more opportunity for agents to work one-on-one with me, the broker. We have a great team with anyone that's willing to help anybody out. And we kind of develop kind of a modified way of a flat fee with a small percentage in there. So we definitely have ways to help you as an agent save a ton of money when it comes to paying out broker fees and stuff.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. So the typical, like with the bigger brokerages, sometimes it's 70-30 or even 60-40, and maybe as good as 80-20, and then they have their cap.
Yep.
So with a boutique broker, which I was with before, and actually still am, I know that it is 100%, but then there is that office fee. Is that pretty similar?
Yeah, well, we call it a transaction fee. So you pay a small fee for each transaction that you process.
Okay.
With us, and that covers, and with that, they get websites, CRMs, back office management, commission management. We have all the marketing flyers and all the design centers like any other big brokerage has. We offer the same stuff that any big name does out there. I think, by being a small brokerage, we can actually pick and choose the programs we use. We're not stuck with something that a big brokerage designs, which may or may not fit your needs. We use Sync, and Sync is one of the best programs around, so we offer some great tools for the agents.
Got it. So what percentage of the business right now do you think is, or do you know is listing versus buyer side right now with today's market anyway?
Well, for us, we're probably, I'm going to say 60% buyers, 40% listings.
Okay.
So we have a good mix.
Good. And what, I know the market's been pretty wild the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What are your agents doing and you doing right now to get the business?
Well, I think for us, the biggest thing that I found out there is, working in sphere of influence is always great, but that's not the all catch-all. Sphere of influence, you can only get so much from family and friends, and they're going to tell you to leave them alone eventually. So you do have to develop other ways of getting leads. And some of the things that we've done is we developed referral partners, either lenders, we have CPAs, we have bookkeepers, we have attorneys. Divorce attorneys are great. Other type of attorneys that deal with estate planning and so forth. You develop those relationships with these different organizations, and we probably get 80% of our business comes from our referral partners now.
Nice. Are you guys also generating leads?
Yeah, we also buy a lot of internet leads, and I mean a lot of them.
Yeah.
And internet leads they're great to keep agents busy, but I got to tell you have to work them. And if you don't follow a plan and develop a plan to really work those leads, you can't just call them one time and say, "Yep, I made the call, I'm done now."
Yeah.
That's not going to do it. You really have to sit there and really spend a lot of time on those type of leads in order to close them.
Yeah. Are you using certain systems to keep track of those particular
Yeah,
leads? But, besides, I guess Sync does pretty much all that, right?
Sync does it all for us. Every lead
Got
we
it.
gets entered into Sync, and they're on drip campaigns, and they're on different listing alerts, and just different marketing methods through Sync. It's kind of a one platform place basically that allows us to do everything.
Yeah. And the MLS is integrated with Sync, right?
It is correct. Yep. Yeah, it's called an IDX link. So we're part of 3 different MLS. We're part of Tucson MLS, as well as the Payson, which is Central Arizona MLS. So we have access to all those areas throughout the area out there.
Okay. So I'm curious, because Joey and I were talking about this, I think last week. When somebody goes to your site, and let's say they want to search properties in Queen Creek, do you have a specific number of houses they can see before the system then asks them to sign up?
It's typically 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it set. You can set that parameter for whatever you want on that. We set it for 2 because if they're going to spend time on there, we'd at least like to know who they are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I think we'd heard that, if you give them 5, it's too many. Maybe the first one
is too
but
soon.
2 probably makes sense.
Yeah, so we just do 2 of them, and after 2, we're going to ask them if they want to keep looking, just to give us an info number and an email address.
And you have your agents calling them. How often or how many calls do you guys make before you basically consider it just not a viable lead any longer?
Well, we work a lead till they tell us to quit working them.
Yeah.
When they tell us to leave them alone, we'll leave them alone. But until they tell us to stop calling them, we're not stopping.
Do you guys have an ISA that works, or do you train your?
We train the agents to do it, and
Yeah.
and they have really specific follow-up plans that they have to follow with anything that we provide them as far as leads go. Anything they get on their own, that's up to them how they want to work them. But if it's an office lead where we provide the lead to them, we really do ask them to follow a real specific plan
Yeah.
that helps them to get the business.
Okay. So, the reason why I'm asking is because we have an ISA that makes the phone calls, right? And she is so good at it, right? I think I'm okay on the phones, but she's like really good. I'm listening because we record all our calls, and I'm listening to her, and the people are like, "Yeah, I'm not interested. So just please take me off the list." She goes, "Oh no, I completely understand." And then she starts to say something, and then at the end of that call, we have an appointment. It's like, really? How'd you do that?
Yeah, I've tried a few different ISAs and just haven't really found one that I've really been overly happy with. So we just haven't really pursued them.
Yeah.
And you have to be real careful with them too, because they're not licensed, so they really are.
They can't really talk too much about the
yeah.
transaction or things like that.
They can't talk about real estate. All they can do is try to make an appointment. They really can't talk about a house or price or bedrooms or bathrooms or locations or anything, because that will get you in trouble.
Yeah. So, Stephen, if you don't mind me asking, where do the online leads come from? Are you doing pay-per-click or what? Facebook?
Google,
what are you
Facebook,
doing?
Instagram are our main sources for them, and they're just done through different services that we use. Sync is one of them. We have some other paid lead sources we get leads from.
And if I go a little deeper, what would you say is kind of the best producing type of ad right now?
Well, actually, the best producing lead right now are my bank referral partners.
Oh.
Because those leads come to us pretty much pre-qualified. And these guys, when they send them to us, they've already talked to them. They've already pre-qualified them. These folks are ready to buy because they have a pre-qualification letter in hand. So I would say we probably close 90% of those leads.
The bank referral ones.
Bank referrals, yeah.
So you make relationships.
I have relationships
with
with about 4 different banks.
Okay, like the smaller banks. I'm guessing.
Yeah, or other loan officers that are out there. We have relationships with them as well. And I would say those are probably our best closing lead. Your internet leads, if you close in 3 to 5%, you're doing really good.
No, absolutely.
On internet leads.
It's usually about 2, right?
Yeah, we average about 3.5.
That's good.
So we do good, but I tell you got to work them. And I'm talking about you're on the phone constantly calling.
And I'm sure you have email campaigns or drip
Yep.
campaigns once they get in. And
Yeah, everyone, when a new, especially internet lead, when it comes into our system, they're automatically put on a drip campaign. And that drip campaign consists of emails, text messages, phone calls. It's a whole list of things you have to do over on certain time periods with that particular lead.
Well, you're probably at 3.5% conversion versus other people at 2 because you guys are relentless and you don't stop until they tell you to stop, right?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. And if you were to ever talk to any of the other big experts out there, they're going to tell you got to call them, 15 times, 18 times. In sales in general, when you get a cold lead, the average number of attempts you make before you're actually going to get anywhere with that lead is 17 times.
17 times.
17 times is the average number of attempts you're going to make before you're going to get anywhere. So when you call them 1 or 2 times and dump it and move on, you're just like you're throwing money and just leaving money behind because you're not working it properly.
Yeah. Joey, I can't believe you haven't commented on my hat yet, by the way.
Well, around
Remember
here,
the beginning of last season?
around here, Kansas City, we don't know who Kansas City is around here, right?
Yeah, we don't know.
Not at all.
Yes.
Do you remember the beginning of the season when you were like, the Cardinals have a better chance of going to the Super Bowl than the Chiefs did?
They did.
Anyway, I'm wearing this for a specific reason. The draft is taking place in KC.
Heard that.
Okay.
So, anyway, sorry. I know that was a little sidebar, but I was just really surprised Joey hadn't commented.
Rubbing it in.
So, Stephen, I'm curious. With building relationships with CPAs and attorneys, that's a totally different ballgame than what most agents are able to do, or I guess willing to do, because that's a different clientele. So,
it is.
Kind of, what's your approach with that?
Well, you got to make an introduction. Most of mine are all done through a letter. I'll send off a letter to them initially. Then I'll follow it up with a phone call, and I'll invite them out to lunch. So, this is who I am. This is what I do. We're looking to develop a relationship with you. We can help your clients. You could probably help some of our clients. It's kind of a mutual thing. So I have referred clients to different type of services out there when, it's need arises. And, not everyone's open to it. But you find enough, if you work it enough, you'll find some that are.
Yeah.
Do any of them comment that they have other agents reaching out to them? Or not really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some do. And some already have relationships with other agents. But it's a small number of agents that are really going out and making that extra effort to develop those relationships.
Right. Yeah. So let's say an agent wants to reach out to you directly. They're interested in finding out more about your brokerage. What are some of the things that you would help, I guess, coach them on, or some things that you would do to help them succeed in real estate?
Well, we definitely would teach them how to market themselves and how to find business and how to find leads, through either paid lead sources. We'll provide them some leads, but we'll also show them how to get their own. We'll help them with the letter writing and with different ways to market to other type of referral partners. How to develop that relationship. The best way that I've done, at least one of my best ways I've done it, is actually through church. You meet a lot of people through your different congregations, and you all have something similar in common.
Yes. And
you start that conversation up. My office that I run in Queen Creek is actually in an attorney's office, something that I need for my church. So,
Got it.
So that's how you develop those relationships. You just got to be able to be outgoing and get out there and talk to them. You can't just sit around an office, wait for the phone to ring, because if you do that, you're going to starve. You can't sit in an office on floor time all the time because you're not going to get enough traffic coming in.
Nope.
Absolutely.
So,
So if an agent that's watching or listening right now does want to reach out to you, how do they contact you?
Well, they can reach out to me by phone at 480-253-0071. That's my cell phone. It's a direct line right to me. Or jump on my website at www.azdreamhomesearch.com. And on there's all my contact information. We even have a jobs page on our site as well for them they can click on.
Got it. All right. You mentioned earlier too about that you do some property management.
We do.
So is that a service that's open to other investors right now? I mean, are you looking to bring on more?
Yeah, we're definitely looking for homeowners. I'm not looking for agents. We don't allow our agents to do property management just because of the liability that's involved in it. So we do it. I do it myself. But we are definitely looking for homeowners or investors that have properties that need help with management. We offer a flat fee management fee, and if you want to learn more, we said reach out and we can explain to you how that's done and how that works. And we use a program that allows our tenants to do everything online. It also allows us to pay the homeowner online with their rental income.
Oh, that's good.
So it makes it easier. It's all done. It's all online. So it's really a pretty simple process.
So I'm guessing it's specifically long-term rentals, or do you also do mid-term and short-term?
I'll do minimum 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want no
Airbnbs?
Nowhere.
Or short-term rentals?
Nope. Don't want those at all. Those things scare me. With everything that's going on with the HOAs in the cities and the municipalities right now, I don't know if I'd want to get involved in any of those.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
That was gonna be my follow-up, was whether or not you offered anything for the short-term stuff.
No, we don't. There's agents out there that do. That's all they do, and they can have that stuff. It's just nothing that I
think we've interviewed a couple people, Joey,
Yeah.
that's kind of what they cater to, is just
I'd love to get them back in here and actually find out now that Airbnb is kind of saturated here to see how they're still doing. Because I know when we interviewed them, they were busy like crazy. And they said, I wish we found bigger homes to buy and, et cetera. So I'd love to see how they're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, municipalities like Scottsdale is coming out with all these new regulations about them. Cave Creek coming out with new regulations about them. Queen Creek's even coming out with new regulations about how they have to be managed. And you have a lot of your HOAs out there that say you can't do anything under 30 days. Within an HOA.
Yeah, within an
HOA. So
HOA.
they're getting a little bit harder to kind of figure out where you can and can't put them.
Yeah. So, Stephen, how about can you share what your take is on the market that we're in right now?
Crazy market. We went from not being able to get a client into a house to where they can't afford a house now.
Because of interest rates.
Because of rates. When rates are at 3%, and everyone was getting 40 offers on their homes, and you couldn't get a client into a home. Now that rates are at 6%, 7%, your payment's pretty much doubled, and they can't afford that same house. And our prices have not come down in Arizona like the rest of the country has.
Now, what do you think?
I think our economy is too good here. I think there's too many people still moving to Arizona. I read an article not too long ago that for every one that leaves, 5 are moving in. Wow. So the job growth is crazy here in Arizona. The local governments are really open to bringing in industry, through a lot of different programs and tax advantages. And we're just look at the number of homes, just in Queen Creek, Santana Valley alone. There's something like 4,000 homes slated to be built out there in the next couple of years. 4,000. That's just one little area. Can you imagine if you look at everywhere else that the building's going on? I think it's like 20,000 homes that are slated to be built in the next few years.
Now I
just
heard
all of Phoenix.
I heard that the permits for the residential homes, or at least the builders, are pulling a lot less. So they're not filling the inventory. Like what we were hoping. But I guess that's good, because then that still puts us in the seller's market, right?
Yeah.
Because I think Queen Creek is now a seller's market.
Yeah,
right?
we're almost. Not quite there yet, but I think it's going to be back there here pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting close. Yeah, there's only like 3 areas that are not back into a seller's market yet.
Yeah. Queen Creek, Santana were not. Last time I saw the reports on it. But I think you don't give it much longer, it's going to happen. But if you look, even though they've cut back in the spec homes they're building, they're still building a lot of homes.
Sure.
I mean, just drive around some of the rural areas, and it's all you see are houses going up. You go out to where I'm at, Queen Creek, Santana Valley, every corner, every field that used to be the cotton fields and the corn fields are all houses now.
Wow.
Being built.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I just don't know where that price point can. I mean, it seems like it's up there already. I guess what's going to happen maybe in the Phoenix area is people that decide they just can't afford it just will probably move.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll move to where you are.
There you go.
Missouri.
Well, there's still places in Arizona that you can get homes for under 300, even in our market here. You go out towards Coolidge, you go out towards Arizona City, you go out towards Maricopa, Casa Grande, Florence. I can put you in a home for under $300,000 out there still. So we have places where you can get into a home that's still going to be affordable. The problem is if you're working in North Phoenix, you got to have one heck of a commute.
Yes.
So but that's the drawback.
Well, it took you an hour and 10 minutes, and you were in Queen Creek.
Yeah, it did. It took me an hour and 10 minutes in the middle of the afternoon to get up here. So you can imagine the rush hour traffic. That would be so. But there are places. There's even if you head out towards Tucson, there's places out towards Tucson that you can still get a home for under 300,000.
Got it.
So there are places in the state you can do it. The Metro Phoenix area is just not there anymore.
Yeah. It's funny to hear you say an hour commute because now where I am in the Springfield area, if I live in Ozark, so if I have a real estate agent or client or somebody up in Springfield, they're like, "Do you mind driving up to Springfield?" I'm like, "It's like 12 minutes."
Well, I'll tell you how crazy our real estate market has been. So I've been at this almost 12 years now. One of my very first homes that I sold was out in Johnson Ranch. If you're on the Johnson Ranch.
I don't even know where
it's in Santan Valley.
Oh, okay.
They have a nice golf course out there.
They have 2 nice golf courses out there. It's a big 6,000 home master plan community. So one of my very first deals, I sold a house out there. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath house for $50,000.
What? 12 years ago?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That was after the housing.
Yeah. Just after the crash happened. Just as it was starting to come back up.
Yeah.
But $50,000 was one of my very first deals I ever sold. Now that still same homes are $300,000 to $400,000.
Wow.
Just 12
Don't
years
you
later.
wish that we would have been able to just buy up like 10 of those?
I wish I would have been able to buy up 100 of those. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you only would have known, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we move to the next segment here, what's one thing that's made the biggest impact in your business?
My spouse.
Oh. The one who wanted to kick you out.
Yeah, but she's also my inspiration and what I do
Your
everything
why.
for. My wife. She's my why.
Yeah.
Exactly. My spouse and my family.
Awesome.
Got it. No, that's great. That's great. Anything else you want to share with the agents before we move on?
Well, I would just say, when you're looking, especially for new agents, when you're looking at where you want to park yourself, really interview brokerages. And don't just look at the big name brands out there, because quite honest with you, there's a lot of the smaller boutique brokerages that are just as good, if not better, than your big name brand brokerages are. They're going to offer you tools, mentorship, and a lot of the same programs you'll get there for a lot less money. So, and then feel comfortable with whoever it is. Just don't accept it. Just don't jump in on the first one. Make sure that their values match your values. Make sure their philosophies match your philosophies. Because if you don't look at those things, you're going to struggle. And then find one that's really going to teach you how to get business besides just writing down all of your neighbors and friends. Because when I first started, that was the big thing,
Yeah.
Make a list of 100 names of people you know.
Or
that only goes so far.
Yes, right.
You can only milk your friends and family so long. So you really have to learn other ways to get business.
Darn, most of my friends are in real estate. That won't work. Oh, that's funny. No, thanks for sharing that. That's great. So are you ready to get in the ring? We got some rapid fire questions for you.
Go for it. Let's do it.
Great information, by the way. Thanks for sharing, Stephen. First off, big shout out to our sponsors, Security Title Agency and Fidelity National Home Warranty.
Yeah.
They always do good work. All right, here we go. Pizza or cheeseburgers?
Pizza. Hands down.
Pizza.
All right. Favorite activity outside of work?
Scuba diving.
Really? Where?
Oh, really?
In your pool?
I used to do a lot of it when I lived up in Washington State. I haven't done as much anymore, but man, it was a blast to go up there.
Huh. Nice.
Have you gone to, so have you scuba dived any Caribbean type stuff too? Or?
Yeah. I've been down the Cayman Islands. And I've done that stuff down in Mexico and, of course, up in the ice cold water of Washington, where you wore a dry suit. You don't wear a wetsuit up here. You wore a dry suit up there.
Got it.
What's the difference? I'm curious.
Yeah, I've always wanted to learn scuba diving.
A dry suit is you don't get wet underneath you.
Oh, okay.
Wetsuits, you get wet. Dry suits, I wear my sweats underneath the dry suit.
Really?
So I stay nice and toasty warm down there.
Nice.
Wow, that's great. How about your favorite restaurant and type of food?
Favorite restaurant and type of food?
Pizza.
I like Thai food, actually.
Oh,
And I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's a great one. It's over in Gilbert, and I know where it's at, but I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
Huh.
But it's really good food.
All right. Last one. How about Apple or Android?
Android.
Thank you.
Oh,
All
wow.
the
We're
way,
gonna
all
have to
the
do
way.
Nice.
You're one of about 50.
Yes.
About every 50.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I've never used an iPhone or Apple phone in my life. I've always been on Androids.
If you ever want to go simple, go Apple.
Yeah, there you go. No.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. Well, Stephen, thanks so much for being in here.
Appreciate it. It's been great.
Good. Good
Yeah,
job.
great information. Thanks for sharing everything you could about the brokerage there. And if agents want to reach out, I know you shared the number earlier, so they can reach out to you directly.
Yep, please do. I'd love to talk to anyone that wants us to talk and learn a little more about what we do.
All right. Fantastic. Hey, agents, until next time, get out there and sell some houses, would ya?
Yes.
Adios.
All right,
We'll see ya.
Take care.
See ya. Good job.